the Johnny Rocket Launchpad. And now, here's Johnny.
Hey, it's Johnny Rocket here at the Johnny Rocket Launchpad, launching ideas in your direction, the Northwest's only rock and roll libertarian radio show. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Kurt Nelson.
Fucking name, baby.
My voice of reason, the beautiful, talented, and luxurious, sexy, and badass Heather Nixon.
Well, thank you, because I'm feeling especially old today.
No, you're not old.
Yeah, my daughter turned 27.
That's all right.
That's old.
You had her when you were like 10.
That's right. I'm not old. I was a whore. That's way better.
Yeah, you're just a whore. You weren't old.
Don't fret.
No fret. It's all good.
You're not old.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is Johnny Rocket here at the Johnny Rocket Launchpad. We just want to say thanks to Allison Bricker from LibertyTalk.fm.
Man,
Yes.
Totally. She was awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
she was
you,
great.
Allison.
Yeah, she did. I thought she did really well. She's very knowledgeable on the NSA, the TSA, any alphabet soup you can imagine. She knows about it. You know, she does the LibertyTalk.fm. She's a big fan and supporter of Robin Kerner.
And she has her own show.
The Allison Bricker Show, which right as of now, I don't know if she's still doing it. I think she's taken a short-term
She said it was on hiatus for a minute.
hiatus,
Yeah.
right.
But you can still listen to
Totally.
the episodes.
Yeah,
You can download them.
Yeah, she did an interview with Ben Swan, which I thought was fantastic.
No
It was a
doubt.
great interview. Ben Swan, I have a lot of respect for him. I didn't know if I did or not. I didn't really know much about him, but I really kind of heard what he had to say when I listened to their episode. Anyway, so what we do here on our last and final segment here on the Johnny Rocket Launchpad is we do the Rocket Fire review.
Or we don't.
Well, we don't, but
But it's fun when we do.
it's better when we do it. We want to know what's kind of, compare her answers to what we think. And, I think we're pretty much in lockstep for the majority of these questions.
What do you got? What do you got?
Well, the
question number one.
Should the government regulate how we treat animals? Now, this is a tricky question. And the only reason it's tricky is
I'm waiting for this.
we have animal lovers out there.
And I would like to say sometimes those animal lovers are literally
Animal lovers.
Ew.
Brown chicken bound.
Eat 'em claw, yo. You know about the eat 'em claw thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
All
yeah,
righty.
Yes.
All right.
So anyway, what we got to say is, should the government regulate the treatment of animals? Now, hear me out on this. No one should ever hurt an animal with malicious intent.
Unless it's a cat.
Fuck, microwave those son of a bitches.
Yeah, cats are okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
Fuck,
And that
whatever.
leaves more cat food for the old people.
Right. We'll talk about that later. I didn't even know about that. I did not know about old people eating cat food.
This is the first time I've heard of this.
So I'm not the only one.
A little, we were at the store.
Okay.
And there was this older lady, and she was kind of crazy. And she was talking to a man who worked there. And I was like, Johnny, slow down, because I don't want to make eye contact with her because she's going to talk to us. And then she's in line behind us, and she's buying just 3 cans of cat food. And I said, oh, my God, could you be more stereotypical? And
I just thought she had a lot of cats.
Yeah, you're thinking presumably for her cats.
So we get out to the car, and I'm like, no, don't you know about the stereotype and old people eating cat food, and it's in movies? And he's like, no idea. So he Googled that shit. And what did you find when you Googled it?
Old people eat cat food.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I didn't know this.
I've never heard of this.
Me neither.
No, it's a thing.
No.
It's a thing.
Why?
It's a joke.
Do we know why it's a thing?
Mm-mm.
Like, does it all of a sudden become desirable when you get older?
When he
Cat food, yeah.
when he looked it up, so part of it is and I don't think it happens so much now. I mean, because dog and cat food is actually kind of expensive now.
Yeah,
but,
it's like fucking gourmet shit now.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was cheap. And as Johnny read, you can just open the can. You don't have to cook it. It was cheap. And so old people on fixed income would eat animal food.
That's
Okay.
why we like spam.
Old listeners to the Johnny Rocket Launchpad.
There are
Check
no
it out.
old listeners. ...
That's fucking gross. Don't fucking do that.
.com.
.com.
No, it's the thing. It's like jokes in movies. It's like a stereotype.
Right.
I'd never heard of that.
I didn't mean either.
You
man.
learn something every day, and if you don't, you're doing it wrong.
Right. I'm with you, brother. So should we regulate how we treat animals? As like I said, I don't think we should hurt animals. I don't think we should abuse them. But animals are property.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
You know, like nobody bitches about a fucking cow being killed because that's fucking steak and that's beef and that's nobody gives a shit about a goddamn cow.
Well, no, but there are actually a lot of people who do, PETA.
But, but I'm just saying this is a fucking very, a good question to ask. I mean,
It is.
Technically, if you own an animal, technically, you could be chastised if you are abusing, you're having cock fights.
He said cock.
I said cock. If you have cockfights, people go, oh, that's bad. Well, let public opinion persuade you.
Wait, yeah, if they report you, it doesn't mean anything if there's no regulation.
Right.
That's the thing.
Okay, but what I'm getting at is people could have an opinion about you in your community. People can go, that guy's a fucking dog beater, and you may not, you're not going to get fucking 4-star treatment at any, in any
Or, you go jogging and all of a sudden you come back when you got a black eye. You ran into a tree and I don't know what happened.
You fell down the stairs.
Right.
I don't know.
Leads me back to the whole Enumclaw aspect. And, there are farms that have been raided and shut down because they're a destination.
Though that one, they were going on somebody else's farm and fucking somebody else's horses.
Yeah.
Well,
Goddamn, Heather.
there was the horse incident where people would go there to get done by a horse. And
Right.
The guy
Get done by, right.
his colon.
Exploded.
Perforated.
Yes, and he died.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also been an Enumclaw where a man got shot because he was sneaking onto the farm where there were sheep, and somebody knew someone was sneaking on the farm. And one night, the guy who owned the property shot somebody, and the guy who got shot, who was there to visit the sheep,
Visit. Air
actually
quotes.
sued the guy.
And won?
I don't have the answer to that. But there's also there are farms that have been shut down where there are many different animals, and they have found, shaved hamsters and gerbils and things like that. So should you be allowed to have sexual relations with any animal? Should that be legal?
As long as it's your property, I guess.
Oh my
in a weird
God.
way.
Yeah, this has become a very interesting question to me because my gut instinct is, of course not.
Right.
Of course the government shouldn't step in. But then you start thinking of shit like that, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no one's for that. No one's like, I'm pro fucking hamster fucking, No, but at the same time, where do we draw the line between property and animals' rights? And do animals have rights? Do plants have rights? I mean, where do we draw the line?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a tough question.
So can a guy marry a dog because he says he's in love with it?
Fuck, I don't give a fuck what he does.
We just broke the gay marriage thing. Give it a while before, and we'll start
A dog can't consent to a marriage any more than a child can.
Well, they're doing that in Germany. What up?
Yeah, but the dog can't say I do. She's right.
Well, an animal, generally, they do have, it's proven that they have some reason. Animals do not have a lot of reason, and they do not have creative abilities. They cannot create works of art. They cannot build bridges.
Sure.
Where do we draw the line? I don't know. All I'm saying is get the fucking state out of it. I don't think that there is any. I think there is a public forum where the people can be pissed off if people are shoving gerbils up each other's asses.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I mean, should there be a consequence? Okay.
Maybe social humiliation.
Okay.
I think that's damage enough.
Right.
If somebody fucked with another dog or hurt another dog that someone else owned.
Well, that's like fucking with your property.
That's exactly right.
So you can have sex with your own dog, you just can't have sex with your neighbor's dog, even if your neighbor's dog seems to be asking for it.
That's
they're looking at you, saying, "Hey,
fucking Rover took over.
Rover was looking at me.
Oh, I know he loves me.
He was asking for it.
I don't know.
Eyes.
It's just it's a tough question. I don't know. Do you want the government in there? I don't know. That's up to
government and where.
Oh,
Never
Lord.
mind, Heather.
Always cutting to the dirty.
Articles of Confederation is considered a failed document. Do you think that's true? Yes and no. The Articles of Confederation, in my opinion, were very liberty-based, a loose affiliation of states in which these states basically had a lot of freedom to pretty much act as they want to act. And I can go from Virginia to Maine, had no problems. You can't get taxed. You can't get, there were some limitations they put in on people with the Articles of Confederation.
Sure.
No legislation could get passed because it's like 100%. Everyone had to be unanimous in regards to voting for anything and any taxes or anything along those lines. the government couldn't really generate money under the Articles of Confederation because everyone's like, fuck no, I'm not paying any
That's
money.
stupid. Why would I do that?
Right, exactly. So, yes, but was there freedom under the Articles of Confederation? Absolutely. And so a lot of the constitutionalists will say, well, it failed. Well, not necessarily true. Each state was sovereign, in a sense. It had its own
It failed
rights.
in that, it got upgraded.
Right, exactly. Well, in a
So
sense.
you can call it a failed document because it actually did fail, whether or not that was right,
Right.
whether or not its failure was, right or wrong.
What was going on, though, I think one of the reasons they had to change it to the Constitution was that they couldn't generate the money to pay for the Revolutionary War because they owed money to France and all these other countries.
Sure.
And they couldn't bring money in, and we couldn't get a bunch of fucking rebels together to say, hey, we need to cough up some fucking coins so we can pay for this war we just had.
People are like,
with
I
Great
don't really
Britain."
have much.
Right, exactly.
No, thanks.
Do you trust businesses more than government? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
People vote with their wallets. That's all I have to say. Is if you don't like a product, you don't go there.
Well, I think it depends on the business. If it's a big, huge corporation that is in it just to make money, do I think that they're ethical and do I trust them? No, not necessarily any more than government. Now, if it's a small neighborhood business where you actually know the owners and you're friendly with the people that work there, then of course you're going to have more trust. So maybe I'm taking the term trust too literally, but I don't think I trust businesses any more than government. You have to look out for yourself and decide where you're going to spend your money. And if you don't like it, you take your business somewhere else or vote someone else into office.
Well, I think like regarding government, if a business is involved with government, especially, I would say no, because it's the same thing. It's like especially crony capitalism. If a business is getting political favors from a business or from the government, yes, absolutely, they're the same fucking entity. But if we're talking, what if you're a corporation and you have no ties, you're not asking for any handouts, any subsidies or anything like that? By all means, I think I would trust them more than the government.
Well, do you trust Walmart? I mean, they are such a huge company, and I have no evidence or knowledge of them getting favors from the government, but because of their buying power, they can buy cheaper products, which means that their products cost less, which means they lure in more customers, which potentially close down local small businesses, which is bad for them. But people choose to go there. Do I trust them though? No.
You trust them to sell you a cheap TV?
Yes, absolutely.
I trust them more than government, though.
Well,
I mean, if they're
there's
not
actually
getting subsidies, I don't know exactly if they're.
There's
not.
actually a lot of evidence that Walmart is.
Okay, well then, no,
Absolutely
not. No, because it's the same thing.
But at the same time, if I'm going to go buy a TV and I got $500 and I'd like to keep as much of it in my wallet as I possibly can, I'm probably going to Walmart. Sorry.
Probably. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, right. Should a person who commits adultery be trusted in political office? I think it's a non-factor.
Totally.
Who gives a shit?
Totally.
Who gives a fuck? It's a stupid question. I just thought it was
mixing
it up a
Well,
little
I think
bit.
the question goes back to is if he doesn't have the
Morals.
The
character
morals.
to be faithful to his wife, is he going to stand up to his word to do what he's promised his voters, his constituents? So, I mean, some people may have a moral issue, especially if they're religious.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, like I said, I love me some Bill Clinton. And, after all,
Jesus Christ.
if you had to come home to Hillary, maybe you'd stray too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Biscuit dough.
I think it takes too much of a quantum leap to say that
Scott Bakula. Quantum leap.
it does.
Okay.
It does.
No, I love that show.
I'm not talking about the show, you dick. You're a dick. To draw the line between person's decisions sexually and in office.
And also, a person who is a powerful politician, just like a rock star or celebrity, women are drawn to him, and so women are throwing themselves at him. And again, it goes back to his moral character. Maybe he should be able to resist. But, we can go back and forth on that all day long.
Sure. Should political office holders be barred from employment for extended period of time in the private sector where they may have effected change in office? Yes. I think it kind of prevents crony capitalism. And that's the whole point of that question. it's kind of a obligation, you as a public servant. Now, when you're in the military, you're owned by the government. When you are in office, you have a moral obligation to the actual government itself and to the people. When you tie yourself with government contracts and favors and things along those lines, you're risking a chance to where you could be corrupted.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. If you are a public servant and sort of, I'm going to kind of digress and talk about...
by the way, Tommy just brought in toilet paper for Heather.
And a bottle.
And a bottle.
Yeah, win all the way
and
around.
St. Addis just joined us.
And St. Addis is
Yay, Paul is here. Woo!
Thank you, Paul.
Yes, thank you, Paul.
Stick around, man.
Touching on your point as far as public servants, me as a state employee, I have been told and had to sign documents and watch training videos saying that if I use a private device or a private computer doing any sort of state business, that my cell phone, like if I send an email that's official business, my cell phone is now public domain and they can seize it. So let's talk about Hillary Clinton, who is
wide open right there.
Right.
So, you know, she used her private email account. Well, if you go by the state ethics, her emails are now public domain, should be open to transparency, and we should see every single email. Well, she's deleting email, and I think that's unethical.
Right.
So, but to get back to the original question, do I think they should be barred from private employment? Now, Allison said, you know, kind of her dream thing is, well, we wouldn't have the lobbyists and we wouldn't have them involved. But right now, because they are, and it can affect their decisions,
right?
Then yes, they should be barred if they have been proven.
I'm looking, yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking at it from a completely, that should be your civic duty to not accept bribes or accept any kind of outside influence to change your decision.
Well, we should be, here's the thing though. Again, let's take the government and the policy out of that and just be able to go, oh, wait a minute, you're doing business that's, you know, you're making a profit off of your office.
Right.
Yep, you're out of there.
Right.
And we just have the ability to yank that guy.
Right.
Halliburton.
Right.
Right.
What is your opinion on mandatory licenses? I don't think we should have licenses, period. I think it's bullshit, and it does stop people from being entrepreneurs because you have to have a license for fucking cutting hair. You have to have a license to have a cab. You have to have a license for this and that and this and that. Fuck you. Fuck you. No licenses. Fuck you.
Well,
straight across.
So how do you really feel?
Well, one of the things, we have talked about this back and forth, and should you be able to prove you can operate a motor vehicle?
Oh, yes, we have this subject has come up.
Yes.
I don't know.
And then again, you know, so we got Johnny here, the helicopter pilot. In order to fly a helicopter or an airplane, should you be able to show that you are capable of doing that when you could potentially be putting others at risk?
Here's the funny thing, though. I never had a license. I never got licensed on flying a helicopter.
Well, you don't have to in the military.
Why? Because I'm government.
Didn't you have
Government.
to? You had to pass
I had to
your
pass
exams,
check,
correct?
Check rides and shit
No,
like
you
that.
didn't get a license like going to the
Nope.
DMV, but
Nope.
you passed an exam, correct?
Yeah, but I didn't
You
have
had to
pay
prove
for
to
it.
the government that you were capable of flying it, correct?
Yeah.
You had to take written tests showing that you knew, you know, the
But
operational
did I have a license,
blah, blah,
yes
blah,
or
blah.
no?
The defense rests.
I didn't have a fucking license. I don't.
You had a
So
license,
should I
buddy.
be able to sit
No, I didn't.
as
Yes,
a
you
private
did.
citizen? So this is my question. As a private citizen, should I be able to climb into a helicopter and fly it?
Good luck. And if you do, if you crash,
If
your
you
own damn
if you
fault.
can get that thing off the ground, more power to you.
Yeah.
So you
exactly.
don't think that we should be able to prove that we can operate a motor vehicle safely?
No, not really. I think
Now-
it's up to the individual to make that call. And I think it's in the individual's responsibility to society to do the right thing and learn how to drive before he goes on the major roads, period. I don't think there should be a license. I think it's fucking bullshit.
Do you think there should be an age to drive?
No.
Can 8-year-olds drive down the freeway?
If they could touch the pedal and the gas and the brake, fuck yeah, do it. I don't give a shit.
While they have a beer in their hand and a cigarette in the other one.
Well, beer's
Fuck
a
you.
different. The beer's the other story, though. I mean, I don't believe in drinking and driving. That should be at that point. You're now protecting person.
Here's
Well,
the
what
thing.
if he's not drunk? He's just drinking it.
Okay,
as long as he's also doing cocaine, he's fine.
exactly.
That's right, because he's alert.
Okay.
Exactly.
Who is your personal hero and why?
Or you want me to go first? Mutt Lang.
Def Leppard.
Yep. AC/DC. Yep.
Yeah.
Johnny, you're my hero. You're
Oh,
you're-
that is so
you-
sweet.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Right on.
Wow.
Thank you, sweetie.
I'd like the audience to know that we just had to pause and had to come back because Johnny had to get a good cry.
I did.
And now he's okay.
Which government agencies would you immediately abolish? I kind of liked Allison's answer. Just about every one of them. I wouldn't say everyone, but I would get rid of the IRS.
Start there. Absolutely.
FDA. Department of Education.
What's the coalition of grapes or whatever it is?
The Asparagus Commission.
Asparagus Commission.
Get rid of that motherfucker immediately.
Let's get rid of them.
If I was here in the state, I'd get rid of the Asparagus Commission. Just about every one of them.
I would get rid of DSHS, but not the unemployment office because that would be counterintuitive.
I'll get rid of Department of Homeland Security. Actually, that'd be the first one right after the IRS.
You know what? Who was our guest a few weeks ago that said that they would start removing
Nicholas
laws
Sarwark?
Until we had a problem?
Yeah, Nicholas Sarwark.
I think that would be good here. Like, let's start removing these agencies until we have a problem, and then let's reinstate or rethink it.
Right. Just keep cutting it until we have a fucking whoops. Okay,
Whoa,
we've gone too far.
All right,
Too far. Will robots ruin the economy? Absolute nonsense. No, of course.
I just watched RoboCop last night. That's why I started laughing.
At 209.
The new one.
209.
The new one.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is
Pretty
that
cool.
the one with the building lockdown?
It's got Samuel Jackson in it. He's my favorite. In fact, I need to go back to the last question and change my answer.
Okay, what's that?
Samuel Jackson.
Okay. Okay, Kurt. Samuel L. Jackson's your hero. What are ways a free society could treat hardcore drug users? It's a health problem instead of a drug problem, instead of locking them up.
Absolutely.
And destroying their fucking lives to where they cannot ever get a job again. You have the stamp on them forever as a felon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a disease. I would never call drug use a disease, but it's a health condition in the sense these are the things that we have to look at. And
Yay.
They're productive. They're good. They could be good people if they just got off the fucking put the crack pipe down, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but you give some of those tweakers a broom, this city it's so fucking clean.
Right.
That's true.
That's a
He's
fucking
got a valid point.
No,
what do we do with
cleaners-
hardcore crack users?
Maybe the
Give
vacuum
'em a
cleaners
broom.
would all be taken apart, but
You know who invented speed, right? No.
Who?
Hitler.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Hitler had his chemists invent speed for the ultimate soldier.
I heard something. I'm getting tinfoil hatty here, but the whole thing with fluoride.
Really?
makes your teeth strong.
No, there's no
For strong tooths, soldiers.
from
For strong tooth soldier.
Anyway, so hey, it's Johnny Rocket here at the Johnny Rocket Launchpad, launching ideas in your direction, the Northwest's only rock and roll libertarian radio show. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Kurt Nelson.
Yes, sir.
Voice of Reason, the beautiful Heather Nixon.
Happy birthday, Caitlin.
And we are here at NWCZ Radio and LibertyTalk.fm, Liberty Movement Radio, Rob Revere Radio, and goddamn, InfoSub. Name me some other ones. CMG Global Radio. All of you guys are awesome.
CBS.
KSCR.
BET.
BET.
MTV.
We're on WET.
VH1.
MTV. VH1. NBC. CBS.
Bravo.
Fox.
You better edit this out, man. We're gonna in serious fucking trouble, dude.
Well, now that the government has...
Don't say
fucking-
Fox. Don't say it. Shit.
Next week, we're going to have John Stossel on our show. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Well, we're going there. Might as well, I guess. Might as well.
Just go with the bang. Anyway, so thank you guys very much. We're going to be next week. We're going to have another great guest. If you're listening to NWCZ, check out the Spud Goodman Show. Have a good night.